Make sure I want to stand in myself. Like, ever since the find what the stats are, see that off the ground. Well, I didn't see. Oh, yeah. First one that means for games. So it's fine, like, like, what's my able to do in my final project? You know, it's all highlighted from the other side. You know, especially in those times with that cheating.
Well, welcome on this Friday. Would you please join me in prayer? The Holy Creator, I have many things to be thankful for. One of them is being a Rotarian. I'm thankful for our Rotary leaders who unselfishly give us themselves to guide us in our goals. I'm thankful for our friendships that we have made as we work together. I'm thankful for being among Rotarians who have different faiths, goals, and genders, all who are working for the same goal. I'm thankful for the programs that inspire us with wonderful people who are dedicated to their works. I'm thankful for being a Rotarian who remind that our busy and sometimes self-consumed lives that service above self is a wonderful model to try and live by. Amen.
Thank you. Yeah. It's awesome. Like you said by yourself, you know,
Do you want to hear the tone?
No, you're ridiculous.
yeah, first time.
Can you remember like that's it's funny.
Where's the back door? She's like, oh, yeah. I didn't see that picture you got.
And we have no Chris today.
No, one week.
All right, that's enough, Steve. I didn't get enough notice to, I do something myself, you might be glad. So. We got any happy bucks today?
Something to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, I scrolled through.
Came back in days. My dad got a CT scan. Yes, we can't try to sign cancer.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's always good news.
I'm got, first of all, I'm Paul Lawton, superintendent. I've got another happy sunny thing. You guys may remember he was Beavercreek Rotary, went to Alabama. He swam his last swim meet. He's a senior this year, so he's made it through all 4 years. Hard to believe that he's going to be graduating in like a month and a half. Wow. So very excited for him. And another happy buck for a lot of great things happening in our school district. Our boys and girls bowling team have been district champions. So I believe they're bowling today, and they will be bowling tomorrow as well to go for that state championship as well.
Wow.
We had a great turnout at our swim meet at the state level, so it was great to see that as well. So, but very glad to be back.
Welcome to everything. Steve, but you remember.
They sent that picture, they were sitting there having dinner with your daughter.
Oh, your son. Yeah.
There you go.
Now that, yeah.
I'll have to look at it.
That was a free meal for him. He was very excited.
Good.
I have one
Any more happy bucks?
my daughter Sarah's coming up to college tonight, spring break, so we're excited to see her. And then if you see a bunch of high schoolers around the Nutter Center tomorrow in uniform, they're having the Air Force JROTC National Service competition there. So all of the Air Force JROTC components across the United States and overseas. I know they have at least one component from Germany, likely Air Force base. But they'll be at the Nutter Center all day.
That's really great.
All right. Any more happy bucks? Well, I am thinking about one. I should.
But there's three
Paul was just named
categories.
the superintendent of the year.
Yeah.
Big orange.
Yeah.
Could have been nice again.
I got two happy bugs.
Huh?
I got two happy bugs. On Sunday, the beginning of March was my wife's 67th birthday. And I'm happy because on the next couple days later, we went to Kroger and she was pushing the cart and I had to run to keep up. So I'm getting better.
Very good. Like I said, Chris didn't have to do his report. Did drawings? Yeah, you want to do drawings? Yeah. Well, decide on it.
Side part, it's champions. Yeah. But great, but you.
Thank you. All right, the last six number, or three number, I'll just do the three number. It's 679.
So.
Like this, right there.
Yeah. For sure.
Almost set the number for
Yeah.
it's 239, but how many days left to Halloween this year?
On the right of the garden, might go with the first card, the where he said those were results. All right, try that for like, you feel fall out. Almost.
4 dollars. No, we trying to go to our Christmas basket tonight, each year, like this.
I concur.
Don, you want to give us an update on the golf?
Here. Things are going really well. I've had a lot of commitments for donors, and there's some in this room that have committed to it. Please get the checks in as soon as you can. I want to get the donor support out of the way so I can start working on golfers and then the baskets. I've got several things happening right now. So far, we're right about $10,000 in donations. So
All the time.
get checks in sooner the better. We're just 2 months away. So when I started this, we were 3 months away. Now we're 2 months away. So it's coming up really quick.
Be here before you know it.
So Steve, you ready? Yes.
She just called. Give me a message.
Thank you.
Fine. Thank you.
Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Caroline Comer of the Victory Project. Caroline serves as the organization's development director, helping build partnerships and support for a mission that is making a meaningful difference in the lives of young people in our community. She joined the Victory Project after a career in media and communications and holds a bachelor's degree in communications and a master's in law from Liberty University. The Victory Project is a privately funded nonprofit that mentors young men in grades 8 through 12 who may be struggling or disengaged. Through tutoring, mentorship, shared meals, and character development, the organization works to help these young men discover hope, purpose, and a positive path forward. Please join me in welcoming Caroline to Rotary as she shares the important work about the Victory Team.
No.
Thank you, everyone. Excuse my voice. I recently lost my voice, so saying a frog in your throat, I just have the entire pond in my throat. Sorry. But like you said, my name is Caroline Comer. I previously spent 10 years in local news, 5 of them here at Channel 2, underneath Caroline Morris. So that is actually how I met Victory Project, is simply doing a story on them. When we expanded to their high school campus, I just remember being there and I said, this place is very, very different. And of course, in my journey and my faith, I kind of decided I wanted to do kingdom work and not just go to work. So I'm very, very blessed and thankful to be at the Victory Project. So we hit on several points, but basically we believe that there are way too many disengaged youth who are walking with very limited momentum, very limited direction, not many role models, and we are there to provide in that direction. So those pamphlets that are on your guys' tables outline what we call the pillars of poverty. That is the goal of Victory Project, is to break those. So we hope that our alumni from grades 6 to 12th grade will basically be able to graduate high school without dropping out of high school, getting a criminal record, or having a child before marriage. People trip up on the child before marriage because yes, we are faith-based, But I think everyone in the room can agree, if you are 14 years old and have a child, it's a whole lot easier if you wait till you're 24 years old, whether you're married or not. I think we can agree on that. So our curriculum is based on the 3 E's: education, entrepreneurship, and enlightenment. Entrepreneurship is maybe my favorite part, is that we model work as the reward. So how many of us go to work and you're like dragging your feet, and you're like, great, I have to go to work today. That's not the attitude of Victory Project. They get to go to work. So the entire week they're earning eligibility to wake up and be at work 7:45 on Saturday to do landscaping, picking up trash, leaves, snow blowing, you name it. We pay them $11 an hour and they turn around and learn how to do their W-2s. All as young as 12 years old. You don't hear of anything like this. So our founder and CEO, Mr. Monty Bush, he was a Dayton police officer for Lord knows how many years. And that's how he came up with Victory Project, is that he was going to all these calls. And typically it was like a grandparent in charge of like 5 boys, because their parents were either dead or incarcerated, or just didn't care, to be honest. And the grandparent was saying, I need your help, officer, I need your help. They're not listening to me. He's like, oh, that's not really my role, but I see the need. That's how he came up with Victory Project. So back on the 3 E's, the education aspect, we do tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We do Wednesday worship, Friday fun, and Monday is the overall gentleman series. So the overall gentleman is basically, yes, how to be a man of God, but you can learn how to, change a tire, how to change your tie, but it's also simple soft skills as how to maintain eye contact, how to shake someone's hand. You think that, people would know those things, but they don't. So I'm going to walk you guys through a little OG class real quick, okay? So simple yes or no questions. If you know them, feel free to shout them out. So a huge piece of Victory Project why we don't take government funding is because we're trying to help kids get off government services. They're not bad by any means, but you and I both know they're not meant to be a lifestyle. Okay, we have generations who are born, living, dying on government services. So our goal is to help get them be independent on their own feet and be assets back to the community, okay? So quick OG class. Simple yes or no questions, okay? If you guys are on SNAP, EBT, food stamps, are you free to choose what you eat?
No.
Yes. No. If you're on government housing, can you choose anywhere you want to live? No. So what about programs and services? If you actually make too much money, you get kicked off them. So are you free to even make as much as you want? No. So are you actually free? No. And of course, we get some parents who, you don't know, I've been through, I get it. I 100% get it. Life happens, but what are you going to do about it? This is what we're trying to instill in our boys as young as 12 years old. And our mission since 2009 has all been for young men. But as of this August, we're opening our first girls campus. And I'm so beyond excited because a lot of the girls, when you're getting them out of poverty and trying to give them a sense of direction, boys and girls are similar, but there are some differences. Monty is very, very smart. If you see him, he's like a full Western cowboy police officer. He's a really weird mix of a bunch of things, okay? But he's smart that you have a girls' campus, you have to have good girl leadership. And so the joke, boys get in a fight or whatever, they may throw a punch, be done with it. Girls, we fight verbally. Or just, you know what I mean? So it's a different kind of outlook, but it's the same kind of principles. So that is why we don't take government funding. It's because if we're trying to get the young boys off government services, would we not be hypocritical if we took them? Yeah. We're faith-based. I get it. We preach the name of Jesus to them every single night. Wednesday worship is my favorite time, having young men start to ask, who is this Jesus? That is my favorite time of the week. And I'm so blessed that I get to do that for work. Honestly, I never thought in a million years being a news reporter to doing this. I'm like, this is pretty nice now, guys. So I could go on and on about Victory Project, but I wanted to allow some time for questions. Anything, I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, anything you can think of. Yes, ma'am.
So is it a residential space? Or
All after school.
It's after school.
So they'll go to school, their normal hours, and then after school, if their parents are, maybe they're not even there, some of them are group home foster homes, or maybe they're at work, they come to us instead. It's that easy time of, they have all the time in the world to find trouble, they come to us instead. A big piece I am missing is that we serve dinner every single night with a very, very blessed team of volunteers. So programming, tutoring, education normally starts around 5 o'clock. Dinner served at 6 o'clock. So it's a great time because there's no iPads, there's no phones. We need to actually just talk to these young boys. And being the only full-time female staff member, I've got a way of questions, guys. But it's fun. It's a good time to actually build those relationships.
What do you do before dinner?
Before dinner,
Fellowship, but before tutoring, fellowship time for them?
yes, ma'am. So they get to come out like 4 o'clock. So that's when some of these young boys, they are coming with the weight of the world on their shoulders. They're in survival mode. They're not in fun mode. So I have a lot of fun when that 13-year-old gets to green. When it's just being a boy, we have video games, basketball, pickleball. They just got one of those hoverboards. They have to move it with their feet. I ran into the wall with it. They know how to do better than I do. So it's just time for them just to be boys today. Yes, sir.
Can you explain how the program works, like what they have to do as students during the week to be able to earn to work in its landscaping, I believe,
Yes, sir.
to be able to work?
So we measure our boys by their AEC, their attitude, their effort, and their consistency. Because there's a lot of elements, you and I guys know have similar experience with this. There's so many things in their life that they can't control. And we can't control if their parents are present. They can't control if they've had a bad day, good day, who's gonna yell at them or whatever. They can't control if you got a car accident. I don't know. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your consistency. So the entire week that they're at Victory Project, we're measuring by that. So of course, good grades as well. But if they're being a brat, if they're not listening, if they're being a typical brat of a boy, you know what I mean? They don't get to go to work. And it's the first time that they're honestly, truly held accountable for their actions, for their words. And like, it's a give and take. Of course, Victory Project is a lot of change from what they're used to. So we give that grace, but it's also that accountability of saying, hey, we told you to clean up the kitchen and you didn't. Why? Okay, so simple little moments that build into a huge character. I hope I answered that question.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
So how do you recruit, or are they referred?
Two ways. So we have fantastic relationships with superintendents and principals. If they see that kind of disengaged youth, the one that has all the time in the world to fight trouble, a really good gang member, honestly, they refer them to us. Also, it's the boys bragging that they're making money. It's so silly, but it's true that they're bragging to their friends, hey, I got McDonald's money, I got Amazon money, whatever it is. So they're actually bringing their friends to Victory Project. And we're like, well, it's a lot more than just that. You got to earn that, but at least let's have that conversation. It's silly, but a lot of them is the boys just inviting their friends.
Are you Dayton based? Where do your boys come from?
All over Montgomery County. We're on several Dayton public schools, even charter schools as well. So right now we have soon to be 3 campuses all in Montgomery County. Yes, ma'am.
How do they get there? Do you do like buses, or?
That's the only thing they have to support is like a transportation avenue. So some of them are, thank the Lord for very good parents who like have their own school bus and pick up a bunch of boys. Some of them kind of travel in groups on the RTA. It's not safe, it's not ideal, but that's just the situation that they're in. So we say, guys, the cost of Victory Project is entirely free. Just have a good attitude and provide transportation. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
So I assume they have to attend school to come out to Victory Project, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you see in terms of the impact on truancy and the absenteeism at their school?
So actually, you just opened up a really big pop. I don't think you intended to. Hey, I didn't say you did. In 2022, University of Dayton did an impact assessment on us. So they compared an average VP kid to a DPS student, compared to absenteeism, math, reading, score, readiness, everything. And what they found is that not only did we beat DPS students quite literally in every category, but on top of it, we had a better percentage of attendance, better percentage of eligibility, and additionally, by getting them off government services and like our alumni are living testament to that. UD estimated we saved $1 million per alumni back on the government services. But we did not come up with that. University of Dayton did. And that for me as a news reporter, I like data, I like statistics, and I saw that and I said, it's working. So absenteeism, it increased because like to be eligible for Victory Project, you have to be going to school. You have to be getting good grades. And I swear, some of these boys come and like their GPA is like a 0.02. And I'm like, are you breathing in class? Like, are you conscious? You know what I mean? And I think that that's where they're starting. The agreement is that it's going to get better. They're going to try. And so actually at the high school campus, our average GPA now is a 3.0. That's never happened before. So no, I hope that answered your question of absenteeism, but UD estimated they're saving $1 million per alumni.
Do you keep track of the alumni? And if so, can you give us some examples of success stories?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have over 700 alumni since 2009. Most of our men go military or trades. Some do go to college or university. So actually, we have one right now on UD's president's emissary. His name is Greg Fuller. He got me a meeting with Dr. Stina, just to talk about Victory Project and what kind of partnership we could have. The most embarrassing actually story I have for you is that I was driving in Dayton and I got pulled over for speeding. And so I pulled over. I go, great, here we go. Yeah, you know what I mean? And the officer approached me and he saw my little pin on my sweater. He goes, do you work for Victory Project? I said, yeah, is that a good thing or bad thing? You know what I mean? He said, I'm an alumni. I graduated in 2016. And I said, so am I out of a ticket? You have your time. Alumni are everywhere, sincerely. Robert Harrison, he's a third. He is actually now our board member as well. So he is active in the Air Force. He's a student at Wright State and he's on our board. So they're everywhere. It's kind of like a thing. Like I went to Liberty, UD Wright State, any of the other alumni, Cedarville, give you that shout out. They're everywhere. You just need to ask. You just need to know. I wish every single alumni had a tattoo of Victory Project on them. You know what I mean? But I was very, very glad to get me a warning. But our alumni are everywhere, and it's really fun when they come back for Christmas parties and Easter because like the streets don't close, we don't close either. So we celebrate all the major holidays with our boys. The alumni come back and it's so funny. They're like the big, brawny, tattooed, guys, but like the little pink tutu little girls now, they bring their kids. And it's such a sweet moment. And when they say, like, I would have never thought this was possible to have, a girlfriend or a wife, kids of their own. Like I don't know, I enjoy it. I get to do that for work now. Any other just
Do you sell those pins?
no. To get out of traffic tickets. Yes, sir.
Where do you find the work that the participants do?
We have a very long client list. So during the winter, it was like that snow blowing, shoveling. A lot of it's churches, businesses, individuals that will do just about anyone's yard, and especially landscaping. So we have the big, huge commercial mowers. Their eyes light up at those, and we're like, all right, take a step. You're going to start with your hands. You're going to start first, picking up trash. You're going to work your way up to the big commercial mower. We have honestly an endless client list. People just ask, especially if they donate to us, if they volunteer for us, it kind of spreads the word around, honestly. Christian Life Center up on 70, we're one of their biggest clients in that aspect of we get to go help do their landscaping as well. But honestly, it teaches them like how to work with the customer because they're teenage boys. So sometimes the customer call back and say, guys, I love Victory Project, but you didn't do a good job. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so we tell the boys, how are you going to fix this? What are you going to do remedy for it? You know what I mean? You didn't do a good job and that's okay. Go make it right. So it's kind of like the full circle kind of customer service experience, honestly. Yes, ma'am.
So how many boys do you typically have in your program at one time? And you're talking landscaping, are there other work that you do?
Yes, ma'am. So right now we have 2 campuses. We try to keep it at 30 boys at each campus, but we've gone up to 75 in total at 2. With the girls, we're going to at least start off small and kind of mentor that group where eventually it'll be 30 for the girls as well. Right now closer to 10. So we try to average around 75 boys between 2 campuses. And I'm glad you actually asked about the other one. We just opened up a wood shop at our high school campus. So we partnered with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. So the boys learn how to make a bed out of wood. And then they go and deliver them to families in need who don't have beds. So thank the Lord, I haven't heard of any thumbs getting cut off or, any injuries. But they're learning those trade skills, construction skills, a lot of soft skills as well. So I love the wood shop. Again, no injuries to report yet, but there's several different avenues for them.
Good beds. I'm with St. Vincent de Paul and you're one of our.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'll definitely talk with you after this. But so allegedly we've had all good news. No injuries, but they love it for sure. Yes, sir.
Is there a fluctuation between during the school year versus summer? Do you see a change in attendance or enrollment, I guess?
For sure. I mean, here it's like summertime fun, but a lot of these boys, I'm not trying to say they're from low income neighborhoods, but they are. So many of them aren't going on vacations. They're here in Dayton. So we keep summertime fun. I do have to brag, we still do tutoring and, education. My team won trivia over the summertime, not gonna lie. So we keep up those things. So like we don't see those grades. I know for at least the summertime, we try to do something fun and engaging that they don't get to do during the school year. So we love going to Camp Chautauqua, where we can get them outdoors and just boys, you know what I mean? But also have those Bible studies around the campfires, have those intimate one-on-one times. Volunteers are still coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So even though they don't have homework assigned, we're going to give them homework. Again, that's how you keep the GPA going, Mr. Superintendent Otto. But she interviewed you for years in jail too. One of those terrible things, so I'm glad it's now a nice thing, but.
He's grown up lots. Can you speak on you just mentioned the construction side that you guys are dipping in now?
Yeah, absolutely. The wood shop. So fully functional wood shop. We are so thankful to. If you guys know Jeff Kelchner and the Kelchner homes, he donated all the equipment. So they are big industrial saws. I cannot list the amount of equipment we have in there, but it's learning how to do those trade skills with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. So eventually we want them to kind of create their own stuff, whether it's like picnic benches or chairs, and have another revenue source for that since we don't take government funding. But the boys are having a blast learning how to do making the beds and stuff. So I hope I answered that question.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? So sorry, my voice sounds terrible.
Is there any intention to like expand this to the surrounding counties or areas at all?
100%. We're in constant talks with Cincinnati and Columbus. Everyone likes the idea of Victory Project, but when they hear the no government funding, we get the, are you serious? How do you do it? And I'm like, well, we've been doing it since 2009. It is not for the faint of heart, but I like to view my job. I'm development, yes, I am, but like I like to view it as friend raising and not fundraising. I'm sure many people have stood in my spot and asked for money. I don't know a single person in this room minus one or two that like I don't know you to say, hey, how deep are your pockets? You know what I mean? That's just not sincere. I'd much rather get to know people and have our mission told and have those people who are actually involved want to get involved, if that makes sense. So yeah, Cincinnati and Columbus, they love the idea of Victory Project. Even Riverside asked Bonnie about creating one, but everyone balks at the government funding. And we're like, I get it. I know we're faith-based, but there's a bigger picture to this. I don't answer your question. Okay. Anyone else?
I got a kind of fun, cool success story that you guys asked. So I actually volunteer at Victory Project, and I went, I think last November, and one of the gentlemen that I met, which I now know his name's Douglas, actually is a Xenia kid. He was a foster kid, got in trouble, kind of got kicked out of his house, got involved with the Victory Project, and I gave him a ride home after one of the evenings there, and just kind of got to know him, and it instantly hit my heart because I thought of myself. A lot of you know that I got in a lot of trouble growing up, and luckily I had a big support system. So putting myself in his shoes, where he's in the same instance, getting in a lot of trouble, like you mentioned, had plenty of time on his hands, where he didn't have a support system, and kind of really hit home for me. Huge Bengals fan, came back, gave him one of the jerseys that I had. I'm not a Bengals fan anymore, so me giving that to him really wasn't anything. But I made sure I gave it to him after class. I didn't want any of the other students to, kind of be weirded out that I didn't give them something. Anyway, the cool thing is when I gave it to him, told him, hey, don't open this till later. After the day was over, I saw it in the van. Somebody was picking him up, and he was showing off the jersey to everyone, which really hit home for me. And then again, didn't remember his name, terrible, I'm in sales. But I kind of just told her this story, and I just met her today. And she was like, wait, is this Douglas? And she pulled up a picture, and sure enough, he just committed to going to college and wants to be a pastor. So really cool story. I mean, I felt like this kid was super lost, and this kid's turning his life around, and I know for a fact it would not be possible if it wasn't for the Victory Project. So you guys are amazing.
That's very kind. A huge piece of Victory Project. We are not here to change any of these young men. We want to help make better decisions. But a lot of these young men just need a little bit of help, and soon to be young women. So we didn't tell Douglas to be a pastor. That was in him the entire time. You know what I mean? So I love my job. I'm very, very thankful for where I'm at. I get to do kingdom work and not just go to work. So any other questions? Yes, sir.
One more comment that wood shop that you've got for those boys and the girls, I guess, if they want to, that's something they can take with them for the rest of their life.
Sure.
Because when you get your own home, you might have to or something. Or they might decide, maybe I want to do this instead of going to college. Because everybody's not made for college, And if that's something that really interests them and they're good at it, maybe they'll take a look at that instead of going to college.
Exactly. Amen. So to kind of elaborate, Superintendent Otto, on your question about academics during the summertime, we have a lot of speakers come in, do job explorations and go talk to the kids. So they know, like you said, all the possibilities of jobs. They don't have to go to college. You know what I mean? Whatever they truly want to do, we're gonna make that happen for them. So. Any questions? Thank you guys for your time.
Have you ever talked to Impact Garage
Yes,
in Beavercreek?
yes, absolutely. I'll say I know them really well.
Okay, good. I know they do a lot of good.
No.
Donate to work, do it very cheap, and they donate cars.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, it's couldn't afford to buy one otherwise. But that's a pretty neat place over there. We have a book that
It's,
Caroline's already signed. It's called The Amazing Generation. I think it's very appropriate. You want us in front of the,
Yes, please.
right here?
yes.
No, right over there.
Oh, okay.
I've seen them. Picture, like that.
Thank you.
You stop up there with the. Yeah. Appreciate that. They had that turn on both sides.
The kids need some direction and,
Voices calling up.
I don't have time with that thing. You get them something positive, dude, they'll jump on. But thank you again. Anything else to be brought up to them? No, we all raised, right, reflect.
And it's just that's the genius. Yeah.
All right. My blood relation
To the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic. Stands one nation. Your God. Physical. Liberty. Justice for all. So they're gonna make it an entry. It's like sending the same. No. Get my heat, get my heat, I know, right? So now, check out, it's in my email, tell my lot, there's all this, like that. And you know, now, so you can help that, I have my part on me, so. Like, so, yeah. So,
Sorry, it's too.